Guys, through a short earlier in the week about this. I was up visiting my daughter in Maine, and we were at kind of like a Goodwill kind of store. It's called Savers. It's their version of Goodwill. I think it's a little nicer, to be honest, but either way, this was in a clear plastic bag, like a grab bag that they have a bunch of those hanging up on the wall. And my eyes went whoop right to this. I was like, no, that cannot be what I think it is. It was. My eyes just like got big as saucers. And because I knew what was there. I knew. And I kind of flipped out and grabbed that sucker. I think it was like $5 to $10 or something. And to give you context, by the way, I did some research on eBay. This exact pencil set goes for around $70 on eBay. And these are more used, and I think there's a few more missing than mine. This is better than this. And I paid maybe $5 to $10. And it had other things with it, like a box of number 2 pencils, a couple little cute little notebooks, one of which I kept, one of which I gave away. You know, this, I was like, $70. And it's not even as good. I was like, oh my God. I still love Prismacolors. Please don't get me wrong. They still blend wonderfully. They still, you know, they're still all the things that are good. But their quality control standards down there are crappy. Like, they're just crappy. The pencils are always breaking, falling out. Even if I'm not pressing gently, the wood casings tend to crack, and the pencil lead just falls out no matter how much you sharpen it. It's just an annoying thing. Also, the sizes of the leads shrank. And you can, I'll show you when we go over the pencils, you're going to see, you can feel a weighted difference in the pencils. Like for the old versus the new, you can feel in your hand, feel the difference. And if you look at the ends, you can see the difference. So you're not getting as much for your money, really. It just really annoys me how bad the quality has gotten, because I still love them despite that. So let's get into this, and I want to show you guys something really cool. This is the BEROL 48, and this is that shortened version of that guy's massively long German name. And I am part German, by the way, so I you know, that's why I don't want to partly why I don't want to it's like disrespecting my own heritage a little bit. So either way, this is how you're supposed to do these. That's why the boxes are like that. I don't know if anybody knows that. I've only bought the bigger, gigantic sets that come in big trays or open stock. I've never bought a small set like this. You have to kind of bounce it just so. There we go. See? And that's how it kind of works. In case you don't know. Isn't that wild? So, I'm going to take this off. And this is exactly how they are, close to exactly how they came to me. As you can see, this is better than that set for $70 on eBay. I have more pencils, some of which are never even been used. Like, check this out. There's multiple pencils in here that have not even been used. Look at that. It's wild. I'm just like, holy crap. Trying not to swear. But when I saw this, I guarantee you I dropped a couple cursies. I'm not going to lie. So, but that's how they came to me. And this is what the back looks like. It comes in 3 languages. It says all this was like printed in Canada down here. So, and there's an example of what the pencil looks like. And it has it in English, French, and Spanish. It does not list a date, but one of the giveaways that it's pre-Sanford or Premier, Prisma Premier, right here it says made in the USA. that's an absolute giveaway. I flipped out. And I knew before even looking at my little history thing, I knew these were 80s. Or late 80s probably. Mid to late 80s. Somewhere in that vicinity. I am on the hunt though for some older, like the earlier ones, like the 70s. That's what I'm kind of on the hunt for. I've seen a couple possibilities, but what they want on eBay is a little more than I can afford. So what we're gonna do for fun here is we're gonna compare these. These are the equivalent of, for my modern set, I picked these out of my more recent stock. And we're going to do a swatch, and we're going to do an actual pencil comparison. So I'm going to organize these in the order. I have a paper here that I printed out, so we can do a little swatch, and I can tell I sort of effed up here a little. Oops. Oh well. Anyway, do a little comparison. And I'm just still so struck by how little these were used considering their age. I mean, I think there's only missing one pencil. I did a count, and I'm only missing one, and they are all original. Just floors me. This one got used. What shocks me even more is the fact that the white is still here and barely used. I mean, look at that. I was like, whoa. That was unexpected. I think they must have been like doing a lot of skin tones, because I'm looking at the pencils that were used, like this one, this one, this one. These are all pencils that you would use for skin tones. So I find that interesting. And let's see, these ones were not used. So let's pull out one, and we're gonna take an in-depth look at how they are different. Let's see. Let's try this one. This is absolutely one of my favorite all-time favorite colors, by the way. I absolutely adore this color. So let me pull out the equivalent. We'll set this aside for a second. But look at the difference in. If my camera, please focus. Focus. Ta-da. Okay. There we go. Yeah. Okay. It's a little blurry, but geez. My camera's being a pain, guys. I'm sorry. Okay, but as much as my camera will try to focus on this, you can see a difference. It's not huge, but there is a difference. The BEROL one, that's this one right here, it's definitely bigger. Look how this right here is a little bit smaller. The core width, I don't know exactly. It's not much, but it's still smaller. So the other thing to look at, and I'm going to zoom in here so you guys can see. Now look at the difference in the pencils so far. Hopefully there we go. Okay. First of all, the BEROL ones, look how shiny the labeling is. Like, it's just ridiculous. I have bad eyesight, and I cannot read this label for squat. It's all blur to me, and I wear glasses and I still can't read it. It's a big blur. So the fact that they made the labeling a little duller and turned it silver makes it much easier to read, in my opinion. For me, it's still small. I like the fact that the Prismacolor is really big on the original labeling here. But still, it's just a big blur, a shiny blur. So it was good that they kind of toned that down. But it's still very hard to read because it's smaller. The other thing is, here it says USA. There it is right there. Made in the USA. And I don't know if my camera is picking this up because how shiny it is. I'm sorry. But it says USA, BEROL, Prismacolor. Gosh. Can't read this. Okay, so first of all, the labeling is very different. Let's turn around here. Okay. Here it says USA BEROL, Prismacolor. I'm trying to read the shiny flipping label. Hold on, guys. Okay. Aquamarine. And then PC, and then it has the number and the name. And what it is here, if I'm not mistaken, this is in a different language. I don't, not sure, but it's not English. So it might be French, but I'm not sure, guys, to be honest. Okay. But either way, the artwork on it is gorgeous. Let me see if I can bring this up so you guys can see a little better. It's so shiny. I'm gonna pick it up and bring it up here. There we go. Ah, my camera wants to work now. Yay. Okay, so that's kind of what the labeling looks like. As you can see, it's extremely shiny. And that's pretty much what the labeling looks like. With this right here, that part, right there. Yeah, and that is what that looks like. Now the difference, one of the differences, look at the core size. I know it's not huge, but you can tell that the newer one is just a hair bit smaller. It's just a hair bit smaller, right? Less pigment for your money. Now, the one thing I do like is that they toned down the shine and changed it to silver. Now even the print's smaller. I like the font on this one, on the older one. I really like the font on it. It's just really cool, and I like how big it is. But so it's like the Holbeins are this way, and I hate it. I can't read their labels for nothing. It's horrible. This one I can at least read with some effort. But this one, and we all know what the water ones, but I'm going to show you anyway. This is what the bottom one kind of looks like. Okay, it's not bad, but that's kind of what they look like. And so the difference is being that this one's a little fancier looking, but that shine is just ridiculous. This one's a little smaller, but it's more readable to me. And I like that they put the little box around this, but the problem is because it's kind of, this is kind of, I don't know how to explain it, but this is dug in a little bit different. It's like stamped in different, whereas this is just kind of, the silver part, this wears off over time. So what you might want to do, and I haven't done it because I'm lazy. is put a little fingernail polish over this. Like clear fingernail polish will keep that from wearing off. If that really matters to you, like if you get a whole new brand new set, I would do that. But yeah, that's pretty much the big differences, the big takeaways is the labeling is fancier on this one, but it's probably pressed into the wood a little bit better. However, this one's the newer one's a little more readable. So you get less pigment in the newer one than you do the old one, though. So, you know, it's up to you to. And also, did you notice that, I almost forgot that, there's a subtle difference in the color? It's very subtle. Like this, the older one, it's a little bit darker, a little more greenish looking. I'll show you some examples of one. Okay. Look at the difference in this, you guys. Check this out. It's the same pencil. Just the old and the new. That's it. Just the old and the new. I mean, it does not even look like the same pen. That's wild. Look at that. That is wild. It is the same pencil color, I promise you. Because if you turn it around, ta-da, they're exactly the same. And if you look on this end, see? It's exactly the same. But look at the barrels. I was just like, what is this? This, to me, the newer one is actually more accurate to me than the older one. This one looks more like a salmon pink color. The barrel, I mean. This screams more, you know, salmon pink to me. What do you think? Let me know in the comments. Do you think this looks like a salmon pink color versus this actually looks more what I consider to be blush pink? Sorry, my camera decided to go out of focus. But isn't that wild? Right? It's just like, I was just kind of dumbfounded at that. It floored me. Let's see. I think there was one other that was really different. Oh, here it is. And they're both the same pencil, but look at the difference. Now the bottom one is the old, and the top one is the new. Look at the difference. This, to me, screams more gold than this does. This screams more. This is more of an antique gold. This is like a yellow gold. I don't know. What do you guys think? Let me know. Not wild though. And now the other interesting thing to note is the difference in the labeling. Just between this one and their regular. Look at the difference in the labeling. I don't know why they chose to label their metallic ones, but isn't that way more readable than that? Like the bottom one, isn't that way more readable? Because it's in black. It's not all this super shiny metallic-y, unreadable gold. I wish they had done all the pencils like this. And still to this day, I can read this one like no trouble whatsoever. It's just wild to me how different. This is more, to me, this one is more indicative of what I consider to be processed red. This is a little too purpley. I think this one's more accurate, to be honest. Yeah, that's definitely French though. And you can see how I didn't put the clear nail polish over it, how it's worn off a little bit. Here they just have the name stamped onto the thing. There's no thing around it. I think this way is way better. But, you know, who knows? They changed it for whatever reason. And the other difference, too, you might notice is that there's no made in wherever on here. Whereas this here, USA. Very key difference. It's pretty cool, right? Which, by the way, as a side rabbit note, best sharpener ever. Beats the Dolly by a mile. This is a fantastic sharpener. My sharpener literally squealed when I was trying to sharpen these older pencils. It literally squealed in protest. Like, I'm not even exaggerating. It was much harder to sharpen the older pencils than it was the newer ones. It took much more effort, which tells you two things. One, the wood is better, and secondly, there's more pigment to sharpen. So, but it was very interesting sharpening the old versus the new. Again, I don't want to ruin your hearing by doing that, because it's my sharpener. It's pretty. The sharpener is great, but it is kind of loud. I just could not believe I had to put way more effort into getting these sharpened than I did my old ones, or my new ones. Sorry. It was kind of wild. So that's just a little side note. If you ever come across these BEROL pencils, they might give your sharpener a little more run for its money. It was neat. So I have these sorted out. And by the way, I highly recommend these containers that I have them sorted into. As another side note, I got these at, they're marker organizers, but I got them at Five Below. Like, aren't they fantastic? This is great. Best thing ever. So I highly recommend you pop into Five Below. I'm not being sponsored by Five Below or nothing like that, but those are fantastic. So I've already pre-sorted these, and I thought we would have a go. I kind of messed up my little thing here, and I'm sorry. When I was trying to do this onto Word, it gave me the worst trouble. I wanted to put the names again over here, but I couldn't get Word to cooperate with me. And I just kind of gave up on it. But it doesn't matter, because the numbers and the names are the same. So just as a, food for thought, they're the same. The BEROL colors, as we discussed, are a little bit different sometimes, but the names and numbers are still the same. Those have not changed. So I'm going to grab out my pencils. Let's start with the cream. I think, make sure I get the right pencils. Use my old lady thing here. I swear I have glasses, guys. I just okay. Alright. And here's another difference. Look at this. Check this out. Look at the difference in the color here. Isn't that astonishing? This is the old. This is the new. This to me screams cream way more than this does. This to me is more what I would consider to be beige. But yeah, look at that difference. Isn't that wild? But if you look at this part right here, it's the same. But it's just wild how different the BEROLs are. Oh, the newer BEROLs also have a UPC code on each and every one. Along with some other random number that I don't know what that means. The older pencils do not have a barcode on them at all, anywhere. That's something I forgot to mention. So, here we have on this side the BEROL edition and then the newer versions. So, let's do the BEROL one and see if it's the same. And like I said, I sort of messed up. Sorry. I sort of messed up my little thing here, but it's okay. We'll make it work. I'm still learning how to use the newer Word, and I hadn't used Word in a really long time, so I'm still learning how it kind of goes again. So I hope you bear with me. So that's what the old one looks like. Let's see what the new one looks like. Yeah, I definitely should have pulled this up higher. Yikes. And as far as lay down, they seem pretty much the same, although I would oh, whoops. This is what I was talking about. This one did not pop like that. That's another thing. These new ones, they are much more fragile. I don't know if it's because the cores are thinner. I really don't know. I'm going to burnish this out a little bit. Yeah, these are much... See, this one I've been pushing and it has not popped a single time so far. Not like that one. But so far, I think they're pretty similar. So I'm going to do a few like this with you guys, and then I'll kind of just do the rest like in a speed format, so it doesn't... I'm not taking up forever and a day of your time. Let's put these over to the side. Okay. Let's see. Let's do yellow ochre. Where are the labels? I swear, you guys, the labels. Yikes. The labels on these are just, they're pretty, but gosh, it's, yeah, I can't read any of that. It's just one shiny blur. Let's see her. My new one. So it might be smaller, but at least the older ones I can read the newer ones I can read the labels better. Oh my gosh. Okay, there it is. Here's another. Wow, look at that. I don't know if I showed this one earlier, but look at the difference in the labeling. I mean, the color even. This, to me, is more yellow ochre than this one. I don't know. I think this one's more accurate, the older one. But, wow. That's just, look at that. I'm just staring at that going, that is humongously different. Wow. Look at that. But yet the core lead is the same, but the way they chose to interpret the color on the barrel is just kind of blowing my mind a little. Anyway, all right. Okay, so that's the older. And this is the newer one. Yeah, I think they're pretty much the same. I think that I'm getting the idea. I think they're all going to be fairly similar. So what I'm going to do is, for the rest of this, so that this video doesn't run too long, I'm going to just speed swatch these, and we'll talk at the end. All right? Enjoy, guys. And I need to pop this and stuff. Yep. Oh, cool. This one. Oh, hold on. Stop. I'm back. So this was eye-opening, and in a spirit of transparency, I forgot a pencil down at so I put it down here at the bottom. At first I thought I had messed up because of how different the peach ones were. I was like, what? I thought I just messed up, but no, they're just that different. So the primary thing, okay, so I have discovered that the pencil that's missing, I believe, is from this set is ginger root. I was doing a little research online, and I think ginger root is the one that's missing. I could be wrong, but I think that's the case. But either way, it was pretty wild. Just watching these. So, I apologize if I sound a little congested. Sorry about that. So the difference is, to me, or this one, the BEROL edition pencils are a little oilier. Like, they glide on differently. Like, you think these ones glide on? Not compared to these ones. I think these ones have a little bit more oil in them, or whatever it is they use. Binder, I don't know exactly, but these ones glide differently. Okay. Secondly, there was a couple that were drastically different. Oh, and in a spirit of transparency, there was a couple, the dark umber, I accidentally grabbed the dark brown, so I had to kind of do those over again. My eyes, I can't read for squat. And the older Barrett pencils, their labels are just, as I said earlier, are horrific to try and read. Anyway, where is it? There's two, especially here it is. Okay, peach. I was just like, what? And I thought maybe I had made a mistake and grabbed like light peach, or I don't know, something like that, right? I was freaking out. So I grabbed my pencils, and I was like, okay, double check the numbers and all that jazz. And the numbers match up, and they're the same. So they're just, not only do they look different on the barrel, but they're actually different here. Let's see, it's a little high up, sorry. But there's the peach for the old edition, and there's the peach for the new edition. That is astonishing. I think the older one looks way better. This one has more of a brownish look to it. I don't know. I don't like it. Compared to the older peach, I may have to search that out, because I much prefer the older one. It's just kind of remarkable how different they are. Huh. That is just, it's wild. Okay, the other one that's different is the Parma Violet. And by the way, just a note, the Parma Violet and the Lilac have been discontinued. Now, I do have some spares of these. Maybe I'll do a giveaway of one each at some point when I hit a certain subscriber count. I might do a giveaway of one of each of these. So, if you are vibing with what I'm doing, consider liking and subscribing and leaving me a nice comment or a suggestion. You know, I don't mind, you know, positive feedback, input, you know, things of that sort. When I get to that subscriber count, maybe I'll do that for you Prismacolor fans. So the other thing that was different to me was the silver. The silver, I like the old one better than the new one. Even though the new one's darker, the old one went on smoother. It have more of a glide to it. And as you can see, the light page is pretty much the same. Let's see, there was a couple more. The Carmine Red's a little bit different. The Crimson's a little different. Let's see what else. There was another one. Oh yeah, the Indigo's a little different too. Not hugely so, but just a hair bit. And the thing that really struck me and was really annoying, and I could have edited it out, but I'm probably not going to. I had one Uno pencil on this side break. One. It was the Mulberry. I believe it was this one. One. Uno. That was the only one that broke, and I used a relative same amount of pressure for both pencils. This is the only one that broke. This is why I don't like the fact that these are made in another foreign country. I don't care if it's Mexico or China. This is why. It absolutely just flabbergasts me that the difference. I had at least 6 break. I don't know if anyone was keeping track. I had at least 6 break here. 1. Not even the white on this side. Only 1 on this side, 6 on that side. I don't know about you guys, but that tells me a lot, and it's not good for the newer quality. I mean, they're still good, don't get me wrong. I still will use them, but the quality difference is absolutely astonishing to me. You know, the only thing I really don't like about the old ones is just the labeling. It's so hard to read. But other than that, made in the USA, baby. Yeah, there it is. So, I hope you guys really enjoyed this. Again, if you did, please consider liking and subscribing, leaving me a comment. It wouldn't help my algorithm out a lot, and it doesn't cost you anything at all. I don't have a Patreon or any way to, like, I'm making money right now. I'm still working on some things that the algorithms want me to have for that, and one of them is my subscriber count. So just think about it, and if you're at all, as I said, vibing with what I'm doing, consider doing that. I would appreciate it. If you have any questions, suggestions, I hope will give me some grace on my eyesight issues. You know, getting old is no joke, people. But we try. So, I love you all. Please stay safe and be kind to each other. The world is getting to be a really nasty, nasty place. So just try to be kind. Bye.